How good is your English grammar? As an English teacher, there are certain mistakes that my students make more often than others. So I've put together a quick grammar test that covers all the mistakes that I hear all the time. So let's see how many you can get right. I'll start off easy, and then the test will get more challenging as we go along. If you want to, pause the video now and go grab a pen and paper so you can write down your answers, keep track of your score, and make note when you get something wrong and write down the correct answer so you can go back and study later. Of course, let me know how you did in the comments, and at the end, I'll give you some tips for improvement. Let's begin.
English made easy with Claire.
Every question in this test will be a fill-in-the-blank exercise, and I will give you a few seconds to answer, but if you need more time, feel free to pause the video before the answer is revealed. So let's begin with question number 1. She at 8 a.m. every day. She works at 8 a.m. every day. We have to conjugate the verbs in our sentences to match the subject. For he, she, or it in the present tense, we often just have to add s to the end of the verb, except for irregular verbs. How do we know to use the present tense here? Because of the phrase every day. When talking about reoccurring events or habits, we always use the present tense. Question number 2. He can Spanish very well. He can speak Spanish very well. After modal verbs like can, we always use the base form of the verb. So although the subject here is he, the modal verb is the conjugated verb here. So it's he can speak, not speaks. Question number 3. Why you like this restaurant? Why do you like this restaurant? Often, English learners will use the verb are in questions like this with action verbs, but we need to use do. Why do you like this? What do you eat for breakfast? Question number 4. Can you explain this? Me? Can you explain this to me? The correct structure is to explain something to someone. Many learners leave out the preposition to and mistakenly say, explain me. But that's incorrect. It needs to be in this order. Explain something to someone. So explain this to me, explain the rules to them, and so on. Question number 5. I've been here 2 hours. I've been here for 2 hours. We use the preposition for durations or lengths of time. So here it's for 2 hours. Many students confuse this with the preposition since, which is used with a specific point in time. like a specific year, date, or time. For example, I've been here since 3 p.m. Question number 6. I'm looking forward to you. I'm looking forward to meeting you. After the phrase look forward to, we always use the gerund or a verb ending in ing. Question number 7. She's married a doctor. She's married to a doctor. This rule is simple. We say married to someone, not with. Question number 8. If I were you, I take the job. If I were you, I would take the job. This is a hypothetical conditional sentence. The if clause uses the past tense, and the main clause always uses the modal verb would to talk about situations that aren't real or highly unlikely. If I won the lottery, I would buy a villa in Italy. It's not likely to happen, unfortunately. Question number 9. I suggest a break. I suggest taking a break. After the verb suggest, we use the ing form of the verb, not the infinitive. There are several verbs like this that English learners should know, and I will list them here. Question number 10. There a lot of people at the party. There are a lot of people at the party. A lot of students confuse when to use there is and there are. When the object is plural, like people, we use are. If there's only one, use is, like there is one person here. How are you doing so far? If your English is pretty advanced, you may have found it pretty easy up until now. The questions will start to get a little more challenging, so stick around. If you're enjoying the quiz, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you get notified when I post new video lessons. If you want extra support, check out my channel memberships, where you get early access to videos and other perks by clicking join below. All right, let's level up. The next ones are a little trickier. Question 11. They arrived the airport 6 p.m. They arrived at the airport at 6 p.m. At can be both a preposition of time and place. For specific places, we use at, like at the airport. In is generally used for larger or more general areas, like in a specific country or in a room. Similarly, for a specific time, we use at, like at 6 p.m. And for more general times, like a month or a season, we use in May, or in winter. Question 12. I'll call you when I home. I'll call you when I get home. Even though this is in the future, we use the present tense after when in time clauses. Question 13. It depends the situation. It depends on the situation. Depend on is a fixed collocation and is followed by a noun. It depends on something. If you just want to say, it depends, without specifics, you don't need the preposition on. Question 14. Not only late, but he also forgot his notes. Not only was he late, but he also forgot his notes. After the phrase not only, we invert the subject and the verb, like we do in a question. Question 15. If I had known about the delay, earlier. If I had known about the delay, I would have left earlier. This is the third conditional, which uses the past perfect tense in the if clause and would have plus the past participle in the main clause. I did a full video on the conditionals that I'll link here if you want a more in-depth explanation. Question 16. Neither of the answers correct. Neither of the answers is correct. You might even hear native speakers mess this one up and say neither of the answers are correct, but neither is singular. So the verb must also be singular. Question 17. He works harder anyone I know. He works harder than anyone I know. Than is used for comparisons. Then is a time word. These two are often confused because of how similar they sound. Question 18. By the time you arrive, we dinner. By the time you arrive, we will have finished dinner. This is the future perfect tense. It describes an action that will be completed before a specific time in the future. It's formed using will have plus the past participle of the verb. Question 19. You've never been to New York. You've never been to New York, have you? This is a negative statement, so the question tag on the end must be positive. So similarly, if your first statement was positive, you've been to New York, your question tag must be negative. Haven't you? Final question, question 20. Rarely, such a beautiful sunset. Rarely have I seen such a beautiful sunset. After negative adverbs like rarely, we invert the subject and the verb. And this particular structure is advanced because the verb has two elements to it, have plus the past participle, and the subject goes in between them when inverted. Phew, that was a challenge, right? What did you think? How many did you get right? Let me know in the comments. Does your grammar need some help? As promised, I'm going to share with you some of my tips to improve. Whether you've been studying for a while or you're a beginner, you probably find that memorizing grammar rules only takes you so far when it comes to using the language in real life. So pay attention to how native speakers naturally say things. Notice the patterns and the full phrases they use, and then listen or read and repeat. Use new grammar you learn in sentences, in your conversations, or writing, not just in individual exercises like this. Make it relevant to your life. If you don't have many opportunities to use English in your daily life, check out the link in the description for SpeakDuo, a website that pairs you with speaking partners, and I host sessions there myself. Shadow native speakers. A lot of students really value shadowing practice, which is why I have a playlist here on my channel. Shadowing helps your grammar, pronunciation, and confidence all at once. Learn from your mistakes. If you got any quiz questions wrong today, write them down and review them later. Mistakes are how you learn. If you want more grammar practice, live coaching calls with me, personal feedback, and weekly lessons and exercises to practice your English, my community is the perfect place for serious learners and busy learners like you. Check it out through the link below. I'd love to see you there. Thanks so much for watching and supporting my channel. Remember, learning a new language is a journey, not a race. You got this. See you next time.